What's up, everyone? I'm back again, and today we're going to talk about a very, very easy stock to look at. I've been thinking about getting into them. I used to have them. I sold off of them, but before I get into this stock, I got like to say, hey, I'm not a financial advisor. Well, I'm not your financial advisor, and before you buy the stock, make sure you go in and do your own research or talk to a financial advisor. All right, the stock I'm looking at today is AT&T, ticker symbol T. So AT&T, I've been I sold out whenever at $22 or something like that, or $21, and I haven't went back in yet because I kept seeing it drop, and I couldn't figure out if I wanted to get back into the stock or not. If anyone's trying to know what AT&T is, AT&T is a cell phone company, and they finance cell phones to people, and they have internet. Now, I don't know what else they do besides that. They really don't have much more to grow, and they pay a pretty good dividend account. I moved away from AT&T and went to T-Mobile just because T-Mobile pricing was better than AT&T. And that was, I think, AT&T merged with Singular back in the day, and now they're on their own. And the reason why I moved away from AT&T personally was because their price point. Their price point for me, for my family, was like 400, $500 for a cell phone plan, and I didn't like that. And they kept adding fees, so I switched to T-Mobile. Now, the analyst right now says they predict the price to be $20.44, and I don't disagree with them. I think they're going back on their up, and I need to find if it's worth me investing in. Now, they do pay a dividend yield of 5.9% a year. Let's double check. 5.87% and annual dividend of $1.11. Now, let's look at 5.92, 6.31, 6.75. So they do have a constant payout. So they haven't really missed a payout. So that's a good thing. Besides in 2016. But besides that, they have been pretty good on their pay. Now, 5.87 dividend yield means $1.11 right now. So $1.01 or 11 cents, that's not bad to have it. Now, let's see what the insider trading is. Well, they got granted it. That's good. Let's see if anyone sold. Well, besides Lee or Lori Lee is Global Marketing Officer, Senior Executive, and Senior Executive Vice President. She's the only one that sold. Everyone else kind of been holding, which at, let's see, you can see the valuation. They get $5,000, 44 grand, 19 grand, 70 grand to that dude, which is, let's see if I can find him on this list. Oh, he's not on this list. McClester. I don't know who he is, but there are a cell phone company. Let's look what investors are in this company. Well, it's pretty good. They have Vanguard Group, BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard looks like it has 10 or almost 11 million valuation, or 624,000 shares, with BlackRock right behind them with 533,000 shares. That's not bad. You know, Let's see who's the exiting shareholder. Yeah, none of these are really that important to me. I haven't really Putnam investment left. So yeah, new shareholder Zimmer Partnership LP, Senator Investment Group LP, Nang Nan Fung Trin Hong Kong. So look at the top sellers real quick. None of these names really, besides Citadel. Bank of America is picking up shares, which if Bank of America is picking up shares, that means it might be doing pretty good. Let's look at the revenue. So they have a 12.76% profit margin. Last year they lost 5.69%, and year before they're 17% profit margin. So they are in the profit. They are looking like they're doing pretty good. Let me see if there's any news article. Motley Fools, is AT&T a stock buy now? Let's see what's their personal opinion on it. Da-da-da. Stock surge reversed in January or in July 13th. AT&T is drowning in net debt of $152 billion as it spent billions of dollars to build new 5G wireless network. Fast forward 2024, telecom is on track for financial strength. So Motley Fool says they're on financial strength. AT&T net debt was down to $129 billion. So looks like they're paying off their debt. I won't go into any far. Y'all can read the article. AT&T stock falls. Company disclosed hack cause tax effect. So bearish. Massive AT&T data breach, including calls in California. So now I have some concern about buying this stock because now there's data breach in the company, plunge in revealing major data hacks, and these are 2 days ago from the day I'm creating this video. AT&T stock falls after company disclosed hack calls, and Motley Fool's 11 hours ago. Let's see what bullish. AT&T want big tech to help fund. I don't think that should be in bullish. I think that should be in bearish. All right. So the PE ratio is 10.09x lower than compared to the average. Investors are saying to hold this stock. Right now, it's at $18.81. And then the analyst is saying buy. With the returns on the performance, it's looking all good. Upcoming earning is announced in July 24th, 2024. So comment down below if you think it's worth buying. I actually think it might be worth buying now. I think they're starting to recover from the major debt they took out, and they're starting to make money. Now, it does have a high dividend yield. So they're expecting it to be $20. Let's look at the graph. Let's see if they let me look at this graph. No. I guess I have to do it a different way. But with BlackRock not selling and Vanguard increasing their share, is making me think to purchase some just to diverse my portfolio, and they pay a pretty high dividend yield. My year to date, it is up 2%. 1 year is up 4% with If it gives me a 5% dividend yield, that's a 9% yield. 3 years is down 3 or 12% or 29% over the year, or $4.31, or it's up $2.03 or 12% in the year to date. 3 years is down $2. 5 years is down $6. But max from this to this is up, $14. And I think personally it finally hit its all-time low. Who sold 32 billion shares or 32k shares? Someone on Insider. So Stanky John and Leroy or Lori Lee, she looks like she sells it quickly. So she gets a few and then she looks like she just sells them. In the last 3 months, one insider sold 32,000 shares or 32.78 thousand shares. Finance, it's not bad. The issue about AT&T, they really don't have much more to grow. I don't know what they're gonna invest in. So the short term and looking at their financial health is also important. We have to see how much debt they're taking on, because if they're taking on too much debt, it's not worth having them. But the current asset went up $2 billion. Fixed asset went up $1 billion. Liability went down about $5 billion. Long-term debt, it went down 8 million or 80 million. I think that's 80 million. And then the shareholder equity went up. So looking at their debt, it looks like they're doing just fine. They're paying off they're paying off their whoever they owe money to. And institutional investor decreased holding by 0.45%. Okay. Now, New Settlement thinks 58% of, or 93% of people think it's bearish. If you don't know what bearish is, I'll put it on the screen. And 4% think it's bullish. Well, that is a very interesting thing to know. So, actually, I'll look up what bearish is for y'all. So, bearish stocks expect or experience a decline in price stock or other assets. So, bearish means it's going to go down. Bullish means it'll go up. And I actually think they're wrong. I think they're going to go up and actually hit $20. It might not be this year. It might be next year. But with all the bad news, I'm going to pay attention, put them on my watch list. And if it actually go down to like $15 or $14, I will pick up some. Because you know what? It being at $14, $15 and having that high dividend yield and BlackRock owning them, I don't see why BlackRock wouldn't end up buying more shares. They're a high dividend yield company and they actually make money. And with them making money, that's a pretty good thing. Now, I'm not going to talk about T-Mobile or right now because T-Mobile don't pay a dividend yield. And I'm looking at dividend stocks to put in my dividend portfolio for my retirement. So I do have different portfolios. One is a traditional one, 401k, that I let my basic investors deal with it, or my financial advisor. And then I have a dividend one. and that is just to bridge the gap for retirement, so I can get paid for owning a stock, because I want ownership in stocks. So if this stock does drop down to $16-15, I will be purchasing some, or if I see that it continually rise up and break the next point, I'll purchase some, because at the end of the day, they are high paid dividend yield. I don't think they're going to be going anywhere. And they are, T earning have grown, 1.31 annual rate. So revenue has declined 3.57 annual rate. But you know what? This is a company that's been around since 1983. They're not going to go anywhere. They're a pretty popular cell phone company. The only issue is the cost of them whenever I purchase it. But if they come out with fiber optic in more areas, I think that's the next area where they're going to start making money. And it'll be a good chance to purchase them, because then they'll capitalize on that. Because let's be honest, T-Mobile doesn't have fiber optic internet for houses that I know of, but T-Mobile does. Well, I mean, not AT&T does, and T-Mobile doesn't have fiber optic for houses yet. So if they start giving out 1 gigabyte or 2 gigabyte internet speed, at a fair price, they will do a pretty good increase. Now, let's look at the projective. Let's see the percentage. In September, the chances is about 50-50 on being $19.43. So the chance it being at $19.43 is 90%. So me buying it, I have a 90% chance of being there. Now, the chance it being in the below or in $16.41 or below is 3.21%, and to be above it, 9.6. So I'm looking at what's the chances, the probability, because this is a more probability style, because I am looking at this as the investment. What's the probability it being down? And this is just a fun graph I'd like to play with about the puts and calls, to see what the last sell is and see what it is that people are thinking the price point. And if you can't understand it, you can look at the puts and sells right here. And at $21, let's look. We have 6% interest in it, but $19 is where a lot of interest is at. So this is making me think to purchase, to watch it. Indications. And see, if it breaks this point right here, it should be able to recover just fine. And this is just the graph looking at from AT&T. So I think about buying this. If it does drop down to 17, I will purchase some, I think. Well, more likely I'll purchase some at 17, but if it's more likely going to hit up 19 in the next month or two. So, and with the dividend yield, so I think it's going to start increasing. So with the 5.59 or 5.9% dividend yield, I think this is worth buying for a long term. So to watch it for a year or two. Remember, before you purchase this, please talk to a financial advisor. Just because I purchased this stock does not mean you should purchase it. So, all right. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for another video.